Coach, talk about training this week and injuries coming up for Saturday and health-wise and everything.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, a week of training and reflection and building on some of the positives that we saw out of the game against Atlanta, and building for a team who, builds or plays in a similar shape. So, we have some pointers, we have some guidance. We know Vancouver's a tough away schedule playing on that field. So just trying to get prepared for that. Tomorrow we'll be out on turf, have a go on the field there. But yeah, this week of training, it's been really hot. The first 2, 3 days were really, really hot and humid and intense. Yeah, today we went totally, deloaded the boys and came down a little bit. And, we have a little bit of a gathering now after training, just spending some time together and valuing each other's time away from football, away from soccer. Klaus picked up a knock on his knee yesterday, so he's TBD. Tim's TBD. We just have to check on the status of Tim, with his groin. But yeah, other than that, just the usual customers that we have already prior to that.
In a situation like this, when you're struggling a little bit, is it sometimes better to get out on the road and maybe get focused and get away from the pressure of all the fans here and stuff? Is it sort of easier that way, maybe? Or
pressure should make us want to, we have to, that's when we have to be at our best. That's the mentality we need to have. And, this is the moment we exactly need right now, is these moments. That's the sort of realm and the space we have to live by. Because if we get, pressure in situations like this, then we don't know what real pressure is. We don't know. There's life and death scenarios all over the world. There's survival of existence all over the world. We're playing a soccer match, and yes, there's a lot on the line, but at the end of the day, it's still a game, and a game should be shared amongst friends and done to express myself and my talent, right? That we get paid for it. That's the beauty of it, because then it's not a working day in our lives. So yeah, we have to embrace these moments, and I don't really think about or talk about the pressure.
Right. Coach, how do you feel some of the younger guys that are getting these opportunities for the first time, how they've carried themselves in the matches so far and throughout the week in training?
Yeah, I think it's good when you're built on principles and both teams are playing in an aligned fashion. Then you can put guys up. You can send guys to play City 2 on late notice and to get match practice and stuff like that. So, it's a real beauty that we have this extension of our first team. And then guys coming up and being rewarded for their good performances at City 2. And, Michael Wenzel, Jaden Reed, Johnny Klein, it's been a breath of fresh air with these guys around. And yeah, competition is always good. And no one should look down on City 2 players, because they're of a high caliber and high value. So, we enjoy having good players around us at all times. And, whether it's through need or necessity, or through now exactly the sort of avenue or the mechanism that we need them for. Yeah, we need this sort of injection of sort of ambition, youth, and just almost to push us on and to keep us pushing here each other.
Bradley, with Vancouver being in 9th place in the conference, and you guys playing them twice in the next 15 days, yeah. Do you treat this as a playoff series in a different way, or do you still go game by game?
No, we don't look at the series against Vancouver. I mean, we've had it against Austin, we've had it against Dallas, we've had it against how many teams now? We're going to have it against Colorado. So same thing. But again, it's direct opponents. It's direct Western Conference opponents, and we have to, get points on the road, and we have to look for a win. We need that 3-point buffer. At some point, we need to catch up, right? So, and it starts with the next game against Vancouver, and those 3 points are vital, and that's what we are playing for. And then we come back home against San Jose, and those 3 points are vital. So, we're in the hunt and the chase for points. We're on the hunt on the field of play in our natural environment. But also now we're hunting for points, and now points are vital, right? So we almost have now, what do we have, 16, 17 games, something like that. So we have a lot of games now, or is it 15 games? I think it's 15 games. Yeah, we played 19. So it's 15 finals. And just thinking how we can push and drive mentality for 15 games. It goes quickly. You look at the calendar, it's already on the doorsteps of July. So, we're already flying through the season, and time's waiting for no one. So we have to start now taking advantage and using opportunities.
I noticed Thomas Totland was missing, at least from the portion we got to see. He was missing from
Yeah.
practice. Anything going on with him?
Just mitigating some fatigue, just mitigating, some minor ailments, some knocks, some bruises. So yeah, it doesn't look too dramatic. So yeah, I envision him being around the group tomorrow.
Matt?
Coach, Michael Wenzel is out of short-term loans, but he's still training with City. Is there any thought to a first-team contract?
Until such time he's training with us, so he's good around the group, and he's a good fit as a person. He's worked really hard. So I don't want to just treat it like one and done or two and done. So yeah, I mean, Caden's with us, part of our first team, obviously, because he's part of our team. But yeah, the mechanisms that we could use with Johnny, we found a way to make it work. So Jaden still has a game under his belt, and Michael is done. But still, we want to value their contribution and their environment and the environment they give us. So, we're just trying to make all parties and fit all the pieces of the puzzle. But if it means that he trains with us, and I don't know how long, whatever it takes. So we'll just see. Until further notice, he'll be training with us.
And then Vancouver, you mentioned their style of play. It's matched similarly to yours. Does that offer any benefit to how you usually train and what you see in training?
No, I said matched up style of play wise to Atlanta. Formational wise, wide play, crosses, and all that type of stuff. So, similar formation, so I know Van is very strict in his formation, is very pragmatic that way. And, 3-4-3, 5-3-2, so we know what we're going to see, and we should expect that, exactly that. So those are the pictures. And then we'll have ways to go around it and mitigate that. So it's a good challenge for us. We've had good reps against good crosses in this league. Last week, Brooks Lennon, one of the best at them. So now, whether it's on the left-hand side or down on the right with Raposo, you just have to see. But yeah, we have a good starting point.
Can you talk a little bit about their attacking duo, Brian White, Ryan?
Yeah, I think they do all the talking enough on the field. You've seen what they can do. I've coached with Brian White for many years at the Red Bulls, so I know what he's all about. It's really good to see the way he's kicked on and become a real valuable U.S. player in this league, right? So he's been recognized for good work, and that's awesome. He makes good runs off the ball. He's very strong in the hold-up play. He's unassumingly good in the air because he's not the biggest, tallest player, but he's got a good jump on him. We all know about it. We faced them before, and we know, he's quick on the back line too. Last year he gets a breakaway and scores on a breakaway goal. So, Ryan Gould can thread the passes through. He's good in the link-up play. He has the ability to be their playmaker and find the final ball for them. So again, we have to do a really good job on those two for sure. But I think there's a couple other names on that team sheet that are really dangerous, despite them missing the likes of Kubas, for example. Yeah.
Next, we'll go to Justin Hornick.
Hey, Coach, kind of speaking to the attack, you mentioned Zhao Klaus's knock they picked up in training this week, but your roster in general is a little bit thin of kind of proven players at that position. Is this a case of, with 3 matches in the next 8 days, expecting like the Caden Glovers, the Brendan McSorleys of the group to have an opportunity to step up, or is there something kind of more creative in the works?
No, we have a good plan. We have full trust in our roster, especially who is available. And I've seen some really good things, whether it's been McSorley for his couple of minutes, whether it's been in training. I think Brendan's done a really good job. I think Caden's done a good job. And, Nuk Vitorason continues to show glimpses of what he can do. And in training this week, he's been excellent. And in the games, he could have had a hat trick in the first half. So against Atlanta. So he's been really good, and he gets in the box really well. He makes smart runs. He's willing to run the line. So, we've seen some positivity from the strikers that we have on the field at the moment, and we'll come up with a good plan.
We have time for 2 more with Coach, if anyone has one.
Okay, I apologize. This is maybe a little off base, but with some of the focus, at least on our end, on some of the guys getting called up from City 2 or signed to new contracts, is it sometimes easy to overlook how even with some of the first team guys, I'm thinking guys like Jose, Chris Durkin, etc., how much youth is on the team and how there are still so many players still even growing and reaching the level of what it takes to be a professional at this level?
That's a great question. It's the beauty of the system. The system is the main powerful tool that we have around here. And the players, we've embraced this system and everyone's benefited, right? So you've seen the likes of, players who've come and gone, like a Jared Stroud, Lucas Bartlett, guys that were off the map and now found themselves back again and then in contention and having a really good season elsewhere, right? So then you look at Celio Pompey or you look at Chris Durkin back in our system now, how he can flourish and grow within a system. Then, like you mentioned, Jose Kojima and so many other players. So we're excited about this, and just because we don't have the most valuable roster, it doesn't mean we enjoy our roster. We enjoy our roster very, very much because we play by our principles and, we have challenges every single day for sure. And we get challenged through now an injury series, but that's not going to throw us off our pathway. We have to be brave. And in times of struggle, that's when you have to show it the most. So we're excited about whatever challenges are coming our way.
Coach, could you put a percentage on Klaus? Is he 50-50, you would think now, or is it too early to talk about that?
I think it's too early to talk about that right now. So it's still, very fresh. We're just checking it out. And he's going to go for an MRI just to see the severity of it and just to see if there's anything drastic. All right. Thank you.
Coach, thank you for joining us. Go, Steve.
Tim, I know you don't want to leave points on the board like Saturday, but what positives came out of that?
Yeah, I think overall it was a good defensive performance from us. Looking back at it, I think we had we look back at stats after the game and opportunities that we give up, and we felt like we were pretty good in terms of controlling that. There's definitely moments for us to work better at that. And then also from the attacking point, I think it's good to see us getting opportunities. I think that's a really good strong point for us. And like Brad said, I think Nukvi came in and did really well. So that's another good notion for us as a group to just see guys coming in and getting and grabbing opportunities and performances. And then obviously we're just waiting for those goals to start falling. But I think it's just a good building block. I think it's something to build upon.
Coach talked about next 15 games or 15 finals. Do you guys see that same urgency too?
Yeah. I mean, we definitely, there's no shock to the group in terms of where we're at points wise. I don't think we're naive to know that we have to start winning games. We're hoping to find that form. And obviously, MLS summers can create these kinds of runs of forms for some teams. So hopefully we're able to find it. Santi?
Tim, you talk about the defensive performance. Last game you played with Michael Wenzel. It was his first MLS start. He had a start in CONCACAF Champions Cup too, but he looked really good. Can you talk about his performance and how he did? He looked like a veteran out there.
Yeah. Michael, he's a good, honest, hardworking guy. So when you're able to play next to someone that's willing to listen, willing to learn, and willing to kind of just put his head down and do the hard work, it's good, and I'm glad that he got to see the reward of that. Getting his first MLS start is huge for him. And then, like you said, he played really well. He did a lot of the right things, and I'm really happy for him because he's been around the group for a little while. Corey?
Two for me, kind of going off that, Jaden Reed seemed to grab a lot of attention last week. What stuck out to you about his performance in his first start and really this week of training?
Yeah, kind of similar to Michael, in a way that Jaden's a little bit quieter among the group. Maybe that's just because he's a little bit newer to the first team side of things, where Wenzel was around here last year. But Jaden, you have to be. It takes a certain kind of attitude to kind of step into the first team and perform like he did on Saturday. So I'm really happy for him because that's the kind of hunger and attitude that you want out of a second team guy, is to get bumped up to the first team and have that kind of I'll show you mentality, that like I can belong here and that I want to be here. So I was really happy with the way he played.
And the social media fine talker the last couple days, fans even offering to pay the fine for you, just if you had any thoughts on the situation.
Yes. Yeah, I think first the outreach from the fans was really funny. I really appreciated that. And second, I know that there is a line with the league in terms of what you can say and what you cannot say in order to warrant a fine. I just believe that in my actions, I think as a player in this league for 10 years now, I think it's clear that I like this league. I love this league. I love playing in this league. And I want this league to have the reputation that it deserves and will continue to grow and earn. And that I don't think posting clips like that is going to help the reputation of this league. I also don't think that the way the ref handled that situation was respectful to the players or the fans in our home stadium. So I don't think that was done fairly. But like I said, I mean, I think the league will continue to grow, and I want it to continue to grow. I just hope that it is able to do it in the right ways.
What's it like on the back line with so many changes? New guys mentioned Vincent and Reed, creating stability and consistency from game to game when you have such great changes.
Yeah, it's tough to create consistency, obviously, because you get different attributes out of different guys, right? Like, but overall, the message should be the same in terms of how we want to perform as a back line, and that's what we're continuing to work on in terms of how we're able to step without the ball, how we're able to squeeze the game, and that's something that we have to continue to work on. So what attributes single guys bring shouldn't really affect the unit's idea of working. So that's something that we're continuing to work on.
Brian? Tim, is it, as Coach talked about, with more young guys getting fed into the first team, knowing that the type of skills they bring and knowing that they're brought up and they're taught what everyone else is taught, is chemistry ever a problem, or just getting everyone on the same page?
No, I don't think so. I think it's natural, I would say, for when second team guys come up for them to want to listen and learn a lot more. They also usually bring a lot of energy, which is always good to have in a group, especially right now when you know the summer starts to get hot and we're trying to find a run of form. So it's good for these guys to come up and they understand what we want to do. And it's just how can they raise that level from the second team to the first team that little bit more so that they can get into the first team too. So every time they're up with us, it's, you know, we want them, you know, we want to see them move up and they want to move up as well. So how can we help them and how can they help themselves?
Anyone else? Good. Tim, thank you for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.